Okay, there we go, got everything set up. So, welcome down to DTR Division 5 for the beginning of Season 3 with this pre-season race at Portugal. We currently have the Alfa Romeo of Gunnar currently on pole with a 1:17.3 as he comes around the final corner again. Can he improve his time this time round? No, so still 17.3 for Gunnar. P2 we got Ray Luca and Grosberry switched to the McLaren this season. So we've got a new driver, 7-7. He is now on pole position as it stands after his first run, and that's a 17.3. So we've got a few guys up there in the 17.3. Let me just check. Just checking the audio is good. As so, looking through the grid from Division 5 last season, we've got some of the same drivers again, which are it's Gunnar, Ray Luca, Relay Luca. Grosberry is back again in the McLaren this time. Hams UK, I think, is new to this division with his teammate Felix, who has just entered the pits. Rob Sue going for a little spin here in the Haas. He is new to this division. I've not seen him drive before personally, so we'll have to keep an eye on some of these new drivers and see what they're all about pace-wise. And I'm sure the management team will be having a look as well, just to see which drivers are suited to which division. So I think Rob Sue, I think he's cooked his tyres a little bit, struggling to get back around the track. So Gunnar is back on provisional pole at the moment, 4 thousandths of a second ahead of 77 there. It's working down the grid. Charlie, I think, was a Division 6 driver, I think, last season, and Man Like Donkey's back once again with Ralph and Jens. Composite and Skipper, they're also back to Red Bull this time round, not in the Mercedes. And Wardy, so Wardy's out. He's one of the faster drivers of the end of last season. Really got some good pace going during the second half of the season. First half of the season didn't have the best pace, but one of the most improved drivers for sure. So BV Baldy is disqualified for some reason. I'm not sure why. It's usually a pit lane issue or something, or stopping on track. So Dirk Norbert, new driver as well, is it Leitchin? He's just gone into P14. So let's have a look at who is on outlap. So Hammers is currently out of the race. Clearly binned it somewhere, so we'll jump on board with Jens Hoffer in the Aston Martin. He must be on an in-lap, I think, as we'll get some details up on the screen. So get the track map. Also he's invalidated his lap there, as you can see. And okay, so Charlie's looking good there. P11 on the mediums. We'll have a free choice of tyre if he stays in that position for the race. As I'm pretty sure the strategy for this race is you want to start softs, and mediums are really struggle at the beginning on this circuit. So we'll try and find who is on a hot lap at the moment. I think Felix will be. So had a really good season last year. Currently P6 at the moment, as he's making his way through Sector 1 for the Ferrari. So this is the last season in this game, as the season will end roughly around about when the F1 2022 game will be released, and we'll all be looking forward to that for sure. And the Ferrari, sorry, should be one of the top picks once again, especially with how they're driving at the moment with the 1-2 at Bahrain. So Felix is almost dead on with his time, just 5 thousandths slower as he comes through Sector 2 and now into Sector 3. So it's a very difficult track, very windy, difficult to get traction down out of a few of the corners, especially in Sector 1. He makes his way over the line and he goes P1 there, the 17.2, so he's 1/10, just short of 1/10 ahead of one of his main rivals, we would think, this season in Guna. So Guna's brother, Relia, he is back with him again, both in the Alfa Romeo once again, Constructors Champions last season, looking to do the double with the Constructors, and we'll see what Relia can do. No, this is hot lap, so we'll stay on board with Relia and see if he can improve from P8. So it's one of the trickiest corners on the track as he makes his way through. And I know Relic's been playing a lot of Gran Turismo 7 over the last few weeks. He's not been on F1 much. Spoke to him a little earlier on. He said he may struggle today as he's not practiced on the game, he's not practiced on the track, and this is one of the more difficult tracks on the calendar. So he will be looking to improve from P9, but he just runs wide and invalidates just as I say that. So he will come in, and I'm sure he'll have one more run in this session. 6 minutes to go, so we're going to go find who is on a lap. So our new driver, Rob Sui, 2.5 tenths up at the moment as he comes through Sector 3, coming towards the finishing line. currently P10 and sticks it into P7 for the Haas driver. So a good showing from him before he hits the sausage curb and nearly hits the barrier. So he just needs to re-enter to track safely if he can, and don't risk any of the drivers who may be on a hot lap. So the track is clear for him there as you look at the track map. So that is all good. So good, down to P8 now for Robsy as he tries to make a good impression on his debut here in DTR. So just going to look at some drivers towards the back here. We got Skipper, who's boxing, and got Lightshim on an 8 lap as well. Dark Norbert, he is leaving the pits, I think. Yep, he is leaving the pits, getting ready to go and try and improve from P17. So Composite, he's up nearly 3 tenths at the moment as he comes through the final sector. The Red Bull driver, solid driver, each and every season. He's much quicker than his time that he's showing at the moment, and hopefully he can gain a few places there. And there's a few experienced drivers here in the 11th to 20th places, and Ralph is an experienced driver as well. So Composite, he's not improved. He may have been on an 8 lap, I think. I'm not sure. So we'll stay on board with Composite, see if he can improve from the P18. We've currently got Felix Pirate on pole at the moment, still with that 17.2. Just short of a tenth ahead of Charlie F1 there in the AlphaTauri. We now have 5 drivers in the 0.3s or lower, with Grosberry knocking on the door for that, trying to get into that top 5 place. So Hammers is doing good at the moment, holding on to that P7 position, even though he's retired. He's not moved many places down since that. So Composite decides to box there, not being able to improve on his lap, wants to get in, get some new tyres on and get out as soon as he can. Just having a look who's on track. So we've got McLaren coming round the final corner of Grosberry, and let's see, so he chooses to box. So I think we've got so Lightship, he's in P12 at the moment. We've got an AlphaTauri coming round the finishing line, and Ray Luca is beginning his hot lap. So we'll stay on board with him. He comes down to a busy pit exit there. There's 3 cars they're piling up towards turn 1. So hopefully no incidents there as we make our way up towards sector 2. Little bit of wheel spin there, exiting the corner, and this is the tricky one, trying to get traction and get your foot down as soon as you can without running wide and invalidating. So we got a few drivers who got promoted last season. DMX was the Division 5 champion, and he has moved up to Division 1, I believe. And we have G Infamous, who has moved up to Division 4 as well. So quite a few drivers improved last season, gaining those promotions, as Ray Luca sticks it on pole, 17.2. The track obviously rubbering in there, and he's managed to pull off a really good time and sticks it on pole. So it'll be interesting to see if Felix can reply to that. I don't think he can on this lap, and with the yellow flags we can't really see how long is left in the session. Kuna's gone pole now, 16.8, the only driver to go down into the 116s. Charlie's been pushed down to 4th now, but he is way up on his time as he makes his way through sector 1, so he's only almost 1/10 up, so he is gaining on his time, and 1/10 could put him into P3 as it stands. Just looking through the toes, we've got Man Like Donkey P9, Tom Putty in P10, Reliot is in P11. He will have the option to choose any strategy he would choose, like to choose, and Charlie runs a little wide there, touching the gravel a little bit. 77 is in P2 at the moment, with Relay Luca down to P3. As Charlie crosses the line, can he improve? Charlie goes P3. Brilliant time there for the AlphaTauri, and the AlphaTauri team looking really strong this season, currently P3, P4, and the Constructors Champions of Alfa Romeo may have a little challenge on their hands here if Reliot doesn't speed up. Guna's doing his bit. Reliot is still a little rusty, I think. So, who is on a hot lap? Yeah, Tom. He's 1/10 down at the moment in sector 2. Can he make anything back? No. So that is qualifying done, I believe. So we've got Guna on pole. He's sat in the garage. So yeah, great time from Guna. Only 2 drivers into the 116s, which are absolutely brilliant times. Skipper and Composite off the pace today down there. Wardy and BV Baldy, they've got a lot of work to do, but they can choose an alternative strategy if they wish. So we'll take a minute and then we'll go through the grid on the formation lap. Hang on a minute, is there no formation lap? And we're away, so I was expecting a formation lap, but that hasn't been put on. The host has forgot to put that on. So anyways, we are away. So Gunnar keeps his P1 position as he gets away from the pack a little bit, as they can jet steer down into turn 2. It looks chaos down there, but they all get through cleanly, which is good. There's Wardy is still on the start finish line. He hasn't set off. Maybe he thought there was going to be a formation lap and he could maybe just take a break for a minute or something. I'm not sure, but Gunnar is leading the pack. Wardy is still sat on track there, which could see him disqualified in a moment. Baldy has had an off, and the McLaren is off as well. A man like Donkey, as he does a little bit of lawn mowing, and he's disqualified for driving backwards across the track. So we have Gunnar still ahead, and we will head further back on board with Charlie's. No, we'll head on board with Felix here, taking a look at Grosbury. So, oh, big accident. So I'm assuming the car of Wardy has been hit and it's still on track, which could bring out a safety car. Wardy will be disqualified here, as he isn't moving, and we lost Ray Luca in that incident as he collided with Wardy. You can just see the car, the rear wing of Ray Luca there, Ray Luca on the right. So huge crash there, no safety car yet as Wardy is running. So we'll head back up to the front of the grid where Gunnar is doing a nice job there, nearly, well, he has broke the second gap already. 77 having a good start to the race there. P2 with Charlie 3rd and Felix 4th. Is DRS is not enabled yet. I think it will be enabled after next lap. So Baldy's got a 2-second time penalty, and I didn't know you could get a 2-second time penalty in the game. So I think the lobby may have been set up incorrectly. It may not be on strict, is my assumption, but we'll have a look at that after the race as we jump on board with our new driver. Runs a little wide here. Rob Sue got Grosbury and company all over the back of him. Hammers UK still is up there in P7 after retiring in qualifying, and Rallier and a bunch of others are right behind him there. Jump on board with Grosbury. Hammers nearly runs into the back of him there. He's right on his gearbox, looking to get past as soon as he can. Wants to get as close as he can for this DRS section. So 77 is within a second of Gunnar at the moment. Is 2-second time penalty for Robsu. I will need to dive into the settings shortly and take a look at why we are getting two second time penalties. So Wardy is still on track at the moment, and he has not been retired for some reason, which is quite a hazard on there. If you have 3 cars abreast overtaking down there, it's going to cause a huge pile up. So 77 and Gunnar running away with it here in the early stages. 77 gets a little untidy there, nearly loses the car on the exit. So we're going to get in with Rallier. Is getting a few places early on, and I think we just saw a car run off track. It looks like it's Leitchen, I think, as we come through sector 2, and there he is. Oh, it's 77 who's lost it. 77 was in P2, lost it in the sector 2 on the track. He's now fallen down to P15 from P2, so that will give Gunnar a little break, a little breather, and several penalties all ready. So I'm going to jump into the settings and find out what is going on with the penalties. So it is on strict. Safety car off. Formation lap off. Okay. Right. We'll get back to it. Let's just have a look at the tyres. Everyone's on softs at the moment. We've got 2 DNFs as it stands, and we will jump back in the cockpit of Reliant, who has got cars ahead of him, cars behind him, in this huge pack here, fighting for P4. Is Gunnar 4 seconds ahead, and quite sparsed out at the front. And this is the leading pack that we will stay on board with. So Hammers nearly sends it into the back of Reliant. Gets lucky there without hitting him, as we'll just jump further back with him. Looks like Robsu's harvesting a bit of battery along with Reliant as well, as they should all get the DRS down this section. So hang on, I think they must have yellow flags and I cannot see it because they've all slowed down, I think. I'm assuming. I'm not sure. So Gunnar way in front, 6-second gap at the moment, with Charlie behind him for AlphaTauri, and Felix is just. Is he 1 second behind? It looks like he's further than 1 second behind. So it's Felix 1 second behind Charlie, and what's happened? So, hang on, am I missing something? Fucking hell, sprint race. I wonder what the hell we're going on then. I've seen Wardy left, so I didn't think it would have been a sprint race, but oh well. Right, okay. Christ. So there we go, sprint race. So Gunnar's won that one with Charlie in P2, Felix in P3, Groberi P4 and Reliant in P5. Hammers UK P6, Tom Putty P7, Robsu P8. Ralph is in P9 with Dark, Norbert in P10. Hims in the chat, welcome. Hope you're good. But I have no idea what's going on, so I'm just going to see what they do now. I believe Baldy will then pick starting grid. For the race. I was hoping Wardy hasn't left. No, Ward is still there. So that explains the no formation lap. Right, happy days. The 2-second time penalties were confusing though, because I've never seen them before, ever. But I suppose it makes sense in a 5-second race, a 5-lap race. So for any viewers who are, a few viewers have just left, but we are going to be starting the full race now. It wasn't just a 5-lap race, as I should have put that in the title. Yeah, Schooner is looking solid once again. Really improved across last season and become one of the best drivers in the division. Elliott needs to do a bit more. We need a bit more from him, but he has been playing Gran Turismo, so we can forgive him this week. But he does need to get back on it for the beginning of the season next week. As I think we've got the settings going on now. Have I picked? Yeah. So you've got the drivers begin to ready up, getting ready for the race, as BB Baldy would have sorted all the grid out, getting ready for today's race. It would be easy if they just put a sprint race feature in the game, so we don't have to do all this, but so here we go, all ready up, and we are good to go, hopefully. If everyone picks the correct tyres. So here we go, the race is just about to, well, the formation lap is about to begin as the drivers select their strategy for fuel and tyres. So here we go, they are on the grid, and right, we've got audio, which is good. So here we go, we're ready for the full Grand Prix, as we will run through the grid. So we've got Gunnar on P1, brilliant qualifying and brilliant sprint race from him. We got Charlie just behind in the AlphaTauri. Felix, he is in P3, so he improved there in the sprint race with Grobarry, the McLaren driver, just behind him. Elliott makes his way up to P5, so a solid showing from Alfa Romeo, as Elliott did struggle a little bit in qualifying. Hammers UK in 6th with Tom in P7, the Haas driver. Robsu, his teammate, just behind him in the Haas with Ralph in P9. So one of our new drivers, Dirk Nober, in the Mercedes, he is in P10 with Skipper just behind him in the Red Bull. Jens Hofer, he is in P12 in the Aston Martin drivers. You can see the predicted pit stop strategy there on the screen. Soft to hards and medium to hards is, so Jens has his teammate just behind him. The BB Baldy is in P13. So behind them is the, so we've got the Williams of Composite and Williams of, is it Bengius as well, and then we've got like Jim in the Alpine with 77. Just behind him we had an unfortunate incident in the sprint race. He was in P2, so he's got a bit of recovery to do from there. Wardy, not sure what happened there. He was stopped on the grid and his car wasn't moving, and Ray Luca crashed into Wardy down that start finish straight, and Man Like Long Donkey had, I think. So head back to the front of the grid as we get a great view from a million miles away looking at the front of the grid. So they should all be lined up and good to go now. So let's take a look. So it's 5 lights and they are out and away we go for Portugal pre-season race for Division 5 as they head down into turn 1. Charlie loses a position there to Felix. 1 or 2 cars run wide there in the background, and Hammers is now up to 4th. Groberi dropping down a couple of places there, down into P6, and the 2 Haas drivers 7th and 8th together and having a solid start there. So they've got the Mercedes having a look as well. A bit of wheel banging there with Groberi, as we've got a safety car. I think we had yellow flags, I think they have now gone off, and BV Baldy is at the back, so he must have had a little bit of an incident. So sector 2 we've had an incident, I think it's Felix gone off. Must have had contact with the Williams driver. Hopefully no damage for him. Looks like he's got both end plates and should be able to try and make a recovery in this race. There's going to be a lot of penalties as it's a difficult track. And there we go, so we've got Skipper. 3-second time penalty already, just as I say it. Lap 1. That is not good. That is not what you want early on in this race. So Gunnar, the leader of the race, gets the fastest lap, of course, on lap 1 with a 1.2 gap to Charlie. So we're going to jump on board with Hammers here, the Ferrari driver, with already getting a 5 seconds pit lane penalty in the pit lane. 3 cars to pit. We've got Mercedes and Alpine and the Red Bull of Skipper. So 3 cars in the pit at the moment. 3-second penalty for 77, who is making his way up there. He's up to P12 now after a few incidents and pit stops from other drivers on lap 1. So quite a bunch behind Hammers here, and Relia is nicely in P3 at the moment. So we're going to jump down here with Tom, who is P6. His teammate just behind in P8 there, the Haas driver. It's a nice little bunch here, so we'll stay on the aerial view for this one and see what the Haas driver can do. So we get some details on data. So we get the tags on. So we've got Tom here taking a look at Dirk Nobert. They're looking for that P6 place, which I think he's got at the moment, but Dirk Nobert just gets ahead of him into the corner, but he's now behind, and Dirk Nobert now is losing possibly another place to another Haas, which is Tom's teammate Rob Shoot, as he goes up on the outside there. So there's a couple of cars bunching up behind Dirk Nobert here, looking to overtake the Mercedes driver and get this P8 position. Hammers still on the back of Reliant at the moment, within a second, so they will get DRS on this lap, as Charlie is now just over 2 seconds away. So BV Baldy, 3-second penalty. We've got yellow flags in sector 2, which has gone green now, so that is all good. Let's have a look where the battles are. So we've got the 2 Haas drivers, and they both just got past Dirk Nober, and Jens Hoffer appears to be the next one to take a look at Dirk there in P8. So we've got a few medium runners. Tom Putt in P7 at the moment, who's just been overtaken by his teammate who has DRS on him, and if they can play it well, they'll keep taking turns with DRS and maximise their lap time throughout the race. They seem similar paced drivers to the Haas team, and Hamajike picks up a 3-second time penalty there in P4, so that's gonna affect his podium chances at the moment as it stands, with Reliant up there in P3. So a few cars behind Tom here. Here's coming through sector 2. So we've got a yellow flag. Looking at the track map, it appears to be good. I think we should get green again, which we do. There's the McLaren driver, is having a little look at the Haas, and we'll jump on board with Robert as he looks inside of Robsu. He's going to get the better run down here to the final corner. So Rob picks up the better speed and the better exit there, but Robert has got the DRS and will make a comfortable move down here into turn 1. Well, I say comfortable move. Rob is not giving up. He was side by side all the way through there. They did really good to not make any contact, and Grobari keeps that position for now. So he's got the 2 Haas drivers on the back of him as Tom takes a look up the inside, makes a clean move. Lovely move there from the Haas driver, as there are now 4 cars right behind Grobari. We're going to jump on board with Relay Luca here. Unfortunate in the sprint race, collided with a stranded Wardy on the pit straight, but he's recovering really well on those soft tyres, and Tom Putty seems like he's in a really good position here. He's got good pace, he's on the medium tyre. He'll be really happy with how the race is going at the moment. We've got yellow flags again, but nothing on track, and Dirk has a little bit of a moment there, cutting across the grass, and is now down into P9, where Gunnar sets the fastest lap of a 1:20.1 as Ray Luca gets far more speed than Hamajike, who may have a bit of damage and opts to pit on lap 5. So the front of the pack is quite spread it a little bit. Rob is making good ground on Reliant at the moment, both on those soft tyres, and Grobari is joining them as well. And just behind him there's 5 cars that are all bunched together, so we're going to head back to that in a few moments as we try and get a little bit of screen time for all of the drivers if we can, as Charlie boy picks up a 3-second time penalty, currently in a great spot of P2. That is going to make his chances of winning impossible if Gunnar does not get a penalty. And Reliant and Gunnar now all of a sudden in a really good position to possibly get a 1-2 like the Ferrari did at Bahrain this week. So we've got yellow flags. We've got who's off there? Blue car. Trying to figure out who was off there, but anyways, we will head back to the pack here. So we've got another car off, and I think we're That's in sector 3. Not sure who it is. The AlphaTauri looks a little bit slow. Oh, so safety car. Full safety car, and I think the soft tyres will pit. So Bengius, he is out of the race. And the Ferrari of Hammers UK pits again. So I think he pitted the first time and didn't go for an alternate tyre compound. So wise decision there to pit in, get on the correct tyre for this safety car restart. We'll have to see what Gunnar is going to do. P1 at the moment had such a good lead over Charlie, but Charlie does have that 3-second time penalty. So Gunnar pits, our race leader, Alfa Romeo driver. And will the Alfa Romeos double stack? Oh, I think they should do. I think Ralliot staying out for another lap will cost him too much, as they all choose to pit. Tom Putty's stayed out, got some track position, but they all choose to pit apart from 77. Who is on that medium tyre and was looking for exactly this scenario to happen, to gain track position again, and another safety car would really help out 77 here. He's not made his life easy by getting the penalty, but I think a lot of the drivers will have penalties here, so the grid has completely shuffled now with this safety car, as Ralph has DNF'd in the pit lane, I think. So that's not good to see. We don't want to see that. It is only pre-season, but you know, we want all the drivers to commit to the race, and doesn't matter if you're last or first. We want to keep racing. So going through the grid, we have got 77 in P2, and we're going to take a look at the penalties. So, oof, Jesus. 8-second penalty for 77. He could pit again under the safety car and get rid of one of those 5-second penalties. Charlie stuck with 3-second penalties. Cannot do anything about that. Composite has picked up a drive through. That would have been under Delta before they caught the safety car up. So he's going to have to serve that as soon as he can after the restart. And we've got Leitcham here with 3-second penalties. So Baldy's got a drive through as well. Wardy's got 8 seconds. Got penalties absolutely all over the place, and we will take a look at the tyre strategy for the moment. So I think we've got a few DTR drivers watching the stream. They're going to be looking at strategy, and oh, the Red Bull there, Composite, nearly goes flying into the back of 77. Composite tyres, is he thinking he can do his drive through? No, he's going to choose. He's going to pit, get rid of the 8-second 8-lap-old mediums, and switch to those soft tyres. So somehow 77's got front wing damage under the safety car, maybe made a bit of contact, gaining the penalty, as .77, he hasn't served the 5-second penalty, so we may need to pit again to do that, as we wait for the pack to bunch up under the safety car, which it should do this lap, and we should be well underway, as we are on board with the race leader with Gunnar. We're going to have a look at tyres and see what people are on. So Leitching making those hard works. He's on lap 8 old tyres there, currently in P3 after a tricky start, which is great for him. Robsu also opting for the harder tyre. Will definitely not be stopping again unless there is a safety car, I don't think. And Relia has lost a couple of places in the pits with but he is on the right tyre there to go to the end. I think the medium should be able to go in. So Robsu looks like he's lost connection at the moment. We're going to jump on board with Charlie for this safety car restart as we wait for Gunnar to pick his spot of when he is going to go. So he's going to look to catch Charlie out if he can. As we get underway, so Gunnar gets a good start there as we head down the home straight, and so far everything is good, everything is clean. Got a few guys doing the drive-throughs, getting rid of those before the other cars have the DRS. So looking at the track map, everyone has got through cleanly on that restart, which is good to see. So well done from Gunnar on that one, not doing any antics just before the start finish line, which usually causes quite a lot of chaos. So let's have a look where we have some battles on track. So we'll jump on with Relay Luca, who's having a great race so far, up to P4. Had a nightmare in the sprint race, but is making up for it here with a nice solid first third of the race. So P4 for him at the moment, and he's hunting down the Alpine of Leitchim, as pulls a nice gap from Robsu there, 1.7. He may have had a bad restart, but we're going to jump on board with Reliot. So it looks like Robsu is disconnected here, causing a bit of a train after that safety car restart. He would have been very slow to get away, and it would have caused all the pack to squeeze up there. So that is the explanation for such a big gap between P4 and P5 at the moment. So we've got VSC and we've got McLaren of Grobari's off, and a stricken Ferrari of Hammers there. Is, yeah, both his front wheels are broken, and Grobari's trying to get going without cooking his tyres, and he's going to have to do a full lap now before heading back to the pits, and he must surely, yeah, no front wing at all, so he's going to have to make his way around. Oh, full on safety car. So he needed that to have any chance of rescuing his race, but I think he may get, will he get lapped? No, he should be fine, he should be fine. So Hammers UK is out of the race there, coming out of the final turn, which is turn 15, the long right-hander heading towards the start finish line. So a bit of contact between the McLaren driver and the Ferrari driver. So unfortunately he is out of the race, and we will head back up to the front with Gunnar still in P1, as he's having a solid race as ever. So a lot of the guys obviously not going to pit. We've only just had a safety car. I think Leitchim could pit, you know. 11 lap old hards. If I was him, I would have pitted and gone on the mediums, I think. Faster tyre, that would, I think, most certainly go to the end. It's got Ray Luker who's going to have to pit. Jens Offer needs to pit. Dirk Norbert will definitely need to pit. So I think pitting for the mediums would have been the correct strategy there. But anyways, he's in P3. He's having a good race, and let's have a look at the penalties. So no one's got a drive-through yet on this safety car. We've got 2 drivers with 8 seconds. So we've got penalties all over the place, and 2 guys in P2, P3 podium positions with 3-second penalties, and they're gonna have to do something really good to get away from Relay Luca and Reliot to try and secure those podium places and not get any more penalties. going through some position changes. Wow, really, Luca, Leitchim, both up 13 and 15 places, so their strategy is working absolutely brilliant for them. We've got Jens Hoffer up 6 places as well, and Man Like Donkey there is up 8 places in P12, so he's not far off the points at the moment. Skipper looks to be a little off the pace compared to normal, and we need to see if has Rob connected? Nope. Rob is still offline, so this is going to cause an issue under the safety car restart. The McLaren of Groberi and Ferrari of Felix are still making their way around and will hopefully catch up. So the safety car comes in on this lap. So Groberi's pitted, needed a new front wing, and he's on some nice fresh new tyres now. So just have a look at the stops. So Felix is having a few pit stops today. It's not working out well for him at the moment down there in P15, but a long way to go in this race yet. 20 laps still to go. This is the second safety car we have had as these two begin to catch up the safety car. So with a bit of luck, we will get the go ahead that this is coming in this lap, and it is indeed. So they caught up just in the nick of time, and we are good to go. So we'll jump on board with, we'll jump on board with Leitchim. Oh, so Guna's gone nice and early. Oh, no, he's not. No, he's not. False alarm, false alarm. And this is where it can cause problems. So we've got an Aston Martin off in the background. That's Jens Hoffer out of the race, I think. He must have lost his front wing. But here we go, down into turn 1. We are on board with P3 Leitchim at the moment. Hard tyres. He'll struggle to get those warm and up to temperature. So Jens has collided with Groberi there. What is going on? Groberi's having an absolute nightmare. So I think he's made contact with Jens, who lost it coming out of the final corner there. So Guna beginning to pull away nicely. Nearly a second gap to Charlie, and both AlphaTauri drivers there, P1, P2, and looking good. On board with Reliot on the softer and fresher tyres compared to Leitchim, who will just about getting those hard tyres warmed up now. As Relay, Luca and Charlie switch positions just ahead. DRS is not enabled yet. Whether that was team orders or Relay just has the better speed being on that faster soft tyre, we will have to see. So 77 puts in fastest lap of the race so far on the medium tyres. That's working well for him. We've got yellow flags and 2 cars coming into the pit lane. That is Jens Hoffer, I believe, or is it Baldy? Oh, it's Baldy and Tom in the pit lane. So they must have had a little bit of contact and some damage there on that restart. So the safety car has only just restarted, and we've got 4 cars completely detached from the pack at the moment, and we're gonna pop down here. So P6 for Elliott at the moment. So 77, showing that he has really good pace, but he's made 1 or 2 mistakes leaving the track and penalty wise, which has cost him so far, as 77 is all over the back of Leitchim on the slower tyre, and it's beginning to show. So I do think Leitcham should have pitted under that safety car, because he's going to struggle on those tyres to the end of the race. So we'll have to see, keep an eye on 77 and Leitcham to see how they can do in terms of catching up to the AlphaTauri drivers. So Relay is pulling away from his teammate, so the soft tyre clearly a big advantage here. So Alpine drivers P4, P5, AlphaTauri P2, P3, and the Alfa Romeos P1, P6. So looking really good for a constructors battle this season, if this is what we are going to be seeing. So Skipper is in P8 at the moment. He's finding a little bit of pace now, I think, compared to earlier on in the race. Felix is having a good recovery so far on that medium tyre, and now into the points. He's into P10. Got a lot of work to do, but he is quicker than the guys in front of him, so he can gain some places back here. Just short of 2 seconds from man like Donkey, and Skipper just ahead. So we've got Dirk Nobert joining the pack. So I think Relay's had enough here. Oh, doing so good there in P2, pulling away from his teammate, and he's just lost it coming out of turn 4, I think it is. Yeah, turn 4. So unfortunate for him, he's dropped down 5 places, but he could easily recover it from there, and that puts Dirk Nobert, one of our new drivers, up into P6, and he is all over the back of Elliott there. So soft tyres looking very strong at the moment. We just don't know what the tyre degradation is like on this track, because I cannot remember to save my life. But so we've got the top 6 with a big gap now to P7 after Relay Luca's mistake, as Elliott pulls to the right to break the slipstream effect down the straight. And I thought Dirk Nobert was going to have a little look there, as he nearly runs deep. It's all over the back of Elliott here, putting him under pressure. So the Alpine drivers running really well here, but they have got penalties, and Elliott will know this and just be waiting patiently behind them. So we'll take a look at penalties, and whoa, 77 with 11 seconds of penalties. He's going to come like P10 at the moment, but he's got a lot of work to do to try and undo that. So excuse me. Let's take a look. What battles have we got? So we got Skipper. We will jump on board with him. So he's just behind man like Donkey here in P7 with Felix, now up to P9, right on the back of Skipper, and on them fresher, faster tyres, and Felix will look to get the DRS opened as soon as possible. Skipper has got it as well, which will bring them right on the back of man like Donkey here into turn 1. as we come through sector 2. Still on board with Man Like Donkey here with Felix and Skipper just behind. So Felix has got past Skipper, now up into P7 and now chasing down the Donkey. So we'll keep a close eye on this one. This is the only really close battle at the moment on track, so we will stay with this one, this battle for P6. So going off last season, I think the main title contenders are Gunnar, Charlie, 77 if he can keep it clean, Reliot will be up there, Felix will definitely be up there, and Wardy has the pace as well, obviously having a really bad race today, but he showed some really good pace last season. Roberi's improved massively as well, and to be honest I think it's a really good division. I think a lot of people, a lot of the drivers can be really competitive and will obviously practice more and more for the first race of the season, as Felix really does close up now onto Man Like Donkey for this P6 position. So tyre wise, similar tyres here, just one lap fresher for Felix. So with this track having 2 DRS zones, you do end up getting, the cars end up being quite spread out, and we haven't got many battles on track at the moment, as Felix makes an easy move on Man Like Donkey and will look to try and pull away from him. So whoa, what's alright, don't know what happened there, but Man Like Donkey is still in P6 at the moment. Just having a look on track, seeing what battles there is, but there isn't any other apart from this one, so we will stick with this. Yellow flag in sector 2. We've got a stricken Alpine of, I think it was 77 who's lost it, I think, and that is bringing the McLaren and Ferrari of Felix into play there. So sector 1 we've got an Aston Martin who has gone off at turn 3, but he is going again, so that is all good. We should see green flags, which we do. So with the penalties, Reliot is in a great position. Gunnar obviously winning the race as it stands with no penalties. Felix the Pirate is now into a great position, no penalties as well, and he is closing in on 77, who just made a mistake that previous lap. So we'll go with Skipper, who's catching Man Like Donkey and Felix at the moment, really getting into the groove on these hard tyres. Him just asking what the just happened, but I have no idea. It looked like Man Like Donkey jumped over Felix somehow, but Codemasters, what more can you say really? So Felix now just 2 seconds behind 77. 3 lap fresher tyres and having a really good race so far, really good recovery race for him. So no, but he's got a 3-second penalty as well, so we've only got 4 drivers now who do not have a penalty. Head up here with the race leader for a second. Gunnar not put a foot wrong all race as he makes his way through sector 1 and into sector 2 on lap 23. So 10 laps left, and yeah, he's got his comfortable lead over Charlie, doesn't need to push too much. Charlie's got the penalty as well of 3 seconds along with Leitchim, who's again having a solid race, still up there in P3. How long he can take the 22 lap old tyres, I am not sure, but he's having a great race nonetheless. So still a 2-second gap with Felix on 77, and we'll head down to Grawberry. He's just within a second of Tom, the Haas driver, and catching him up nicely. So Grawberry getting ever closer to Tom as he opens up the DRS. Is he going to take a look down into turn 1? He's right at the back of him, but I think he'll wait patiently for the next DRS zone. Oh, what have I missed? What have I missed? What have I missed? Right, okay, so Gunner's pitted for fresh softs, and Reliot is now in the lead. 16 lap old mediums is 77 is right on the back of Reliot here. Sorry for that, I looked away for a minute and I didn't even realise Gunner had pitted, so I think Reliot is beginning to struggle a little bit on these 16 lap old mediums, possibly not getting them to the end, as I think quite a few of the drivers must be struggling with tyre deg now. So I'm just trying to find, so Leitchim has pitted, he's gone for softs, as I missed all of the pit stops, but yeah. So Reliot P1, Leitchim gets another 3-second time penalty as 77 pits and gets rid of his 15 lap old mediums. So I think Reliot will box this next lap, I think, and if that's anything to go by, I'm not sure if Felix can stay out without pitting as well. So quite a few pitting now, as man like Donkey now up to P4 on those 14 lap old mediums, as Gunner makes his way back up to P3. Fresh softs here to go to the end, and he's got purple already in sector 1. Gonna look at the penalties, and I think so 77's got rid of one of his 5-second penalties as well, so that'll make his life a little bit easier. As Gunner now starts to make his way through sector 2, trying to catch Felix and get the Alfa Romeos back up there to P1, P2, but I think Reliot will be pitting for sure. I think he'll definitely pit this lap. he says. And nope, Elliott stays out. Gunnar sets the fastest lap of a 1:18.4 and is closing up ever closer to Felix here on those old and tired 14-lap-old mediums. So Gunnar in a great position here, doesn't have a penalty, so Felix does have the penalty of 3 seconds. Is Elliott going to help Gunnar and just back him up a little bit? So BV Baldy's got another penalty, and Gunnar is now past Felix for that P2 position. So we've got the Alfa Romeos now, P1, P2. I think Elliott is going to let his teammate and brother pass, as he does. He lifts a little bit, but doesn't. So Felix is now going to get up on the inside, sends it, and gets past Elliott there. So very difficult for Elliott to let Gunnar pass and do it without Felix getting past. Maybe should have waited for a non-DRS part of the track. So Elliott looks like he's struggling now on those mediums, so probably should have boxed the lap before maybe, as Gunnar is going to be out ahead by a long way now, I think, and Charlie is going to be a few seconds behind, but on the similar strategy as Gunnar, but does have the penalty as well. So Skipper going well, P6. Not seen a great deal of him, but he's having a good solid race, keeping it clean. And Dark Norbert picks up another 3-second time penalty. Let's see where the battles are on track. There doesn't appear to be many. Elliott is dropping back from Felix. And Charlie should be closing that gap pretty soon. 77 fastest lap there, 18.4, is he has those fresh soft tyres on. Right then, so let's have a look. So Charlie is closing ground on Man Like Donkeys. We've got 4 laps remaining, including this one, as he is just outside of the DRS 1 second and will not get it on this particular straight, but should close up right up onto him through this section of the track. So for a pre-season race, it's been really good. Got a good look at some of the new drivers, and been 1 or 2 mistakes and stuff, but the driving looks like it's been good. We'll have to see if any reports get put in after the race, as we did miss 1 or 2 incidents on track involving a couple of drivers, so we'll have to see what happened with those, as Charlie is now within a second and will get DRS on the next lap as he runs a little wide there. Maybe got a warning for that. There we go, DRS open. Man like Donkey harvesting some battery and just a little bit too far away, but he is that little bit closer and on the faster tyre, so he should get the move done on this next DRS straight, I think. Oh no, just a little too far back again. So where I was predicting drivers to pit, they have all stayed out, making it to the end, and probably the right decision for Elliott, considering he doesn't have any penalties and just needs to try and stay within 3 seconds of Felix to get that 1-2 for the Alfa Romeo drivers. So Elliott has a little bit of work to do yet still for these remaining 2 and a bit laps. BB Boldy picks up another penalty on 15 seconds of penalties at the moment, and Elliott still keeping it around about the 2 second mark, which is what he needs to do. Yellow flag in sector 2. Looks like we've got a stricken McLaren of Grosbarry. So Tom Putty is retired in a completely separate incident in sector 1. It should go green from here, I think. We shouldn't get any safety car at this late stage. So Grosbarry, late mistake there, just pushing him outside of the points at the moment. And Relay Luca gets another penalty, so Charlie's now up to 6 seconds of penalties. That makes it impossible for him to get a podium as it stands, and Elliott is still trying to keep it under 3 seconds, desperately trying to make it a P1 and P2 for the Alfa Romeo drivers. But a solid race for them. You can see why they were Constructors' champions last season, and but very consistent drivers, very good, fast, consistent drivers, and doing a great job. So Felix has one more lap to try and get out of the 3 second gap on Elliott, and can Elliott keep it? That is one of the only battles we really have on track at the moment. Everyone else is too far apart, and we'll stay on board with this and see if Elliott can do it. See if Elliott can get P2, and he's just dropped to over 3 seconds now. Oh, he's got Charlie all over the back of him, but he has a 6 second penalty. He can let Charlie go. He doesn't need to fight him. Coming around the final corner for the final time of this race, and Gunnar wins the race from start to finish. Brilliant race from him, and Felix comes across the line in P2, but will he keep it? Yep, keeps P2. Charlie loses the P3 and Elliott gets the podium. So you've got both Alfa Romeo drivers on the podium, and yeah, so great race from them. Felix is up there as well. So it looks like these are the guys you want to be looking out for this season. Great race from Man Like Donkey to get that P4. Just 3/10 off a podium, so he's had a brilliant race for him. Skipper, solid race as usual, P6 and Leitchim in P7 there. So 77 few incidents, but definitely has some brilliant pace there. P8, he'll be disappointed with that, but hopefully for him he can become a bit more consistent for the start of the season next week. So I'm just going to have a look at the calendar for that. So the calendars, we've got Saudi Arabia next week. That should be an amazing race. It's an amazing track and super fast track, obviously street circuit as well, which is always entertaining, and we should have a full grid for that. Being the beginning of the season, it'll be an absolute brilliant race to watch and commentate on. So we've got a rough idea of the drivers' pace this week. We can see the Alfa Romeo drivers are on top of that again. And Felix the Pirate is definitely wants to be a challenger this season, along with Man Like Donkey, and Charlie has the pace as well. So that's our Division 5 pre-season race at Portugal, and make sure to join us next week for the opening race in Saudi Arabia, which is the first race of 12, and the season will be ending in Brazil, but that is all the way up to 20th of June. So we've had two amazing seasons so far this season, this year under DTR, and season 3 should be another amazing season. So we do have 3 sprint races this season. We've got Imola, Austria and Brazil, and we're just fine tweaking that at the moment, and we'll have that ready for Imola. So that should be a nice twist in the format, matching the real life calendar for what they're doing. So yeah, great race from the guys today in D5, and we will get the season underway next week.